Welcome back. We're going to go straight back up to Grimsby to commune with our political guru, our fellow presenter, Peter Cardwell, who I believe is in the company of the Tory Minister for Food, Farming and Fisheries, Mike Spencer. Am I right, Peter? Oh, yes, there you are. I'll leave it to you.
You are, Mark Spencer is... Thanks, Kev. Yes, Mark Spencer is with me now. As I asked Louise Hay, the Shadow Transport Secretary, what were your impressions of the debate this evening?
Yeah, I thought the format was really good, actually. I thought it was different. It led to a bit more scrutiny. I thought there was a clear contrast, actually, between the two candidates, in that Rishi Sunak did seem to answer the questions and did seem to hit the answers head on with his solutions to the challenges that we face as a country. And I thought Keir Starmer dodged every question, wouldn't answer, wouldn't tell us what he would do. He was very good at outlining what the problems are, but never had a solution to those problems. And I think, on taxation, he was completely dodging that question. And, we all know that there's a £2,000 tax bill coming from Labour. I'm now worried
those figures are disputed, Sir Mark.
Well, to be fair, most of them are Treasury figures. Some of them are Labour Party figures, and we've taken the lower end of the Labour Party estimates. So if they say it's going to be between 150 million and 200 million, we've taken the 150 million figure. So some of them are their figures that we've taken. But he won't answer the question, will he? He says that he won't put up income tax, he says he won't put up VAT, but he won't rule out fuel duty or pension tax.
But you, as part of the government for the last 14 years, have put up taxation more than 24 times, and Rishi Sunak couldn't answer whether inflation as a proportion of what the country makes, taxation as a proportion of what the country makes would go down in the next Parliament.
But what he was clear about was that we're going to cut national insurance, we're going to rule out national insurance.
You've done that twice before, it hasn't made any change to the polls whatsoever.
No, but this is not about actually changing the polls, this is about actually doing the right thing for the country.
Surely you want to change the polls, you're 20 points behind.
Of course we do, but the way in which you do that is doing the right thing for the country and making the right decisions at the right moment. And what we've seen from the Prime Minister is, he said he would get inflation under control, he made the tough decisions to do that, and he's achieved that. He said he would get the economy growing.
But that's one of 5 pledges that he made. The other 4, he's nowhere in those.
No, that's not true, is it? Because he said he would get the economy growing. We're now growing faster than the US, Japan, Germany, France and Italy. The economy is now starting to...
Haven't stopped the boats.
We would say we would do that. Now, he did say that we would stop the boats. They were down a third last year, so we're making some progress. Obviously, Rwanda flights are due to take off at the end of July, so that plan is in fruition, if you like, and is starting to have an impact. In contrast to Labour, of course, that have no plan to stop boats at all, that will have an open immigration policy. And I think that's the contrast that we saw tonight.
They say they do have a policy. They say they want to smash the gangs. They want to do things that are...
What does that mean? What does that actually mean? When you actually analyse what he says he will do, Starmer, they're just words. They're not actually firm actions. And what you get from Rishi Sunak is firm actions and a firm plan, and he lays out what he would do and when he will do it.
But all of that hasn't been enough so far. You're still 20 points behind in the polls. We have a snap poll that shows that 64% of people think that Keir Starmer won the debate tonight. You're losing, aren't you? And actually, Grant Shapps, your party colleague, this morning on Times Radio talked about the fact that he doesn't want a Labour supermajority, and that he's basically saying you've lost this. Would you accept that?
We're clearly still in this fight, and we're going to fight for every vote. We've got 3 weeks to go until election day.
So is Grant Shapps wrong?
Really matters. No, I think we do recognise that we are up against it, given the challenges that the country faces with COVID, with Ukraine. People have really felt that pressure. Now, but the question is on the 4th of July is about the future and about who has a plan to deliver our future. And I thought tonight we did see the Prime Minister set out that what his plan is, when he'll deliver it and how he'll deliver it. And Keir Starmer dodged all of those questions because he just wants to get the keys to number 10 and then he'll reveal to us what he's going to do. That includes huge tax hikes and more challenges for us going forward.
One question I want to ask you tonight that Rishi Sunak wasn't asked about was about his parliamentary private secretary, Craig Williams. He apparently put £100 on the fact that the election was going to be on the 4th of July. Surely he was in the loop for that, and now he's been investigated by the Gambling Commission. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, so there is an investigation taking place. We need to see the results of that investigation before I can comment. But of course,
well, you can comment now.
I think we need to see what the actual.
Well, does he deny it?
I have not spoken to Craig, so I don't know the answer to that question. But what I do know, there is an investigation taking place. Once we know the results of that investigation, then it will be possible to comment.
Okay. One thing that Rishi Sunak was asked about tonight was something that would make him more human, more relatable. He talked about Haribo sweets. He's given that answer before about having lots of sugar and so on. Is a lot of the problem that Rishi Sunak just cannot connect with the voters. He couldn't connect with your party members when he ran against Liz Truss, and he can't connect with the electorate. Isn't that, surely that is his major problem?
I'm not sure that's true, actually. When you do meet him, he's very personable, he's very likeable.
But millions of people will never meet him.
No, of course, and I do understand the challenge that you're putting, but that is the role of a politician, isn't it, to try and communicate your vision.
Has he succeeded in that?
I think he's making progress, and I think we'll continue to do that for the next 3 weeks. We'll continue to bang that drum and to get those messages across.
Okay, Mr. Mark Spencer, thank you very much indeed for joining us on Talk. Those are the views of the Food, Farming and Fisheries Minister, Sir Mark Spencer. He's a Minister in the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. Kevin.
Peter, great interviews. Thank you very much. I guess this is going to be the party line on this allegedly disgraceful bet that Rishi's private secretary, Craig Williams, made just before the election date. 100 quid, July the 4th. Guess what? He won 3 days before. Now, the Tories, I think, are going to have to come up with something better than we can't comment while the Gambling Commission is investigating. They really can't, because in essence...
They always say that, and politicians always say that, Kevin. Police leaders always say it. Oh, we can't comment because there's an investigation going on. You have an opinion on it. Tell us what it is. That was kind of it's always frustrating when they say, oh, there's an investigation going on. Does he deny it? Does he not? Surely Mark Spencer must have known. They must have had conversations behind the scenes in terms of what to ask on these things. I used to work in politics. I used to coach politicians for these kind of interviews. You've always got to have some sort of answer, and clearly he has an opinion on it. He's not telling us this evening.
Yeah. Just before you go, Peter, and thank you very much for all your efforts tonight. They've been invaluable. Typically, great work by you. What is the mood there now? What is the... I mean, we've got these people talking to you who obviously are doing their best, but what is the mood in the Tory camp? What is the mood in the Labour camp, as far as you can discern?
From Tories I've been speaking to privately, I think the mood is that it wasn't that bad. They didn't expect to win tonight. They knew the audience was always going to be pretty hostile. But Rishi Sunak didn't have any... There were no sort of gotcha moments. There were no moments where he really committed a massive gaffe that are going to be played over and over again. Similarly for Keir Starmer, I don't think there was a moment there that either is a gaffe or indeed something people will look at and say, right, I definitely want him to be the Prime Minister. Some people will be convinced. There has been a snap poll I mentioned to Sir Mark Spencer there as well. 64% of people believe that Keir Starmer won this debate, but really, I mean, the Labour are so far ahead, with 20 points ahead in the latest poll, that really tonight it probably isn't going to make a huge amount of difference. There will be some people who haven't engaged with politics previously who say, right, I'll see a bit of it, or I'll watch some of it, or listen to some of it tonight, who maybe will have made a change, a difference. There's another debate tomorrow night. 7 leaders of the smaller parties are going to be on ITV. There's a lot of this, and there's a lot more between the election, but in my experience, both as someone who worked in politics and someone who's covered politics as a journalist, people don't really properly engage with and make a decision on who they're going to vote for, if they're an undecided voter, this is, until 3 or 4 days before the election, or maybe even on the day of the election itself. Exactly
right. And on the format, I know that I'm right now, because all these politicos are going, I thought the format was really good. No, it wasn't. It allowed them to showboat too much. So I know I'm right, because all the MPs say it was a great format. No, it wasn't. But a fascinating evening and great stuff from you, Peter. Thank you very much.